My name is Staff Sgt. Jacob Strickland. I originally joined the Army. I was actually going to join the Army at 18 years old and decided not to. I was single with no kids, but family was something that was very important to me, and I knew with the 3 jobs I was working, I was making good money, but I had no real benefits. And I knew the Army could provide those, not to mention possibly send my kids to school or send my wife to school or send me to school for free. So I actually talked to all the branches first before joining the Army. It wasn't that the Army was last, that was just the last office I got to. And the recruiter was like, yeah, we're gonna have a hard time getting you in because of your violations, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, he was straight up. Like, he told me, like, hey man, it's gonna be hard. You know what I mean? And it took me about 6 months to get through the process. But then once I enlisted and picked my job, Airborne Infantry, I was gone like 2 weeks later. The MOS I originally enlisted for was 11 X-ray, which is the infantry contract or infantry candidate. So from there you can be an 11 Bravo infantryman or 11 Charlie, which is the mortar team. So I went to basic training with 11 X-ray with Airborne. My Airborne experience is like a lot of people that I've talked to that are Airborne, Airborne qualified at least, and I'm scared of heights. So if you put me on the roof of a 2-story building and tell me to look over, like, I almost get sick to my stomach. Jumping out of planes was totally different. It was more of like the adrenaline rush. I had 50 or 60 other guys with me that were doing it. You know what I mean? We're all getting hyped up in the plane and jumping out all together and kind of going through that with somebody, not just doing something on your own. But yeah, the experience all in all was pretty awesome. The first jump, I was the #1 jumper, and I kind of froze in the door and didn't really know why I was frozen. I wanted to jump, but I couldn't do it. And then they helped me out the plane, and I was good to go after that. For me, wearing this uniform means a lot of different things, and it's changed over the years. I've been in 10.5 years. When I first did it, I was doing it because I wanted benefits to start a family, but it was more so for me, to get that direction, get a career so that I could take care of a family. My reason for wearing it now is totally different. My kids see me, my 2 boys, Cash and Cage, they're 6 and 4. They see me come home in my uniform, and it's a way that I've been able to teach my sons that, you know, the last name means something. We have a pretty strong legacy in my family of a lot of people who've overcome a lot of different stuff, and just a lot of hardworking people in my family. Proud to show that, like, this shows hard work, right? You can earn badges to put on it to show extra hard work, but just being in the uniform, one, says that you've put in a lot of effort and time, kind of helping me carry that legacy of the Strickland name. We even have a hashtag called Strickland Strong, and the whole family uses that. So, you know, when the time comes and my kids want to pursue, if they want to pursue the military or the Army, I'll be with them through the whole entire process, but more so just so I can kind of guide you down stuff that I wish I would have known going into the process. So, you know, everybody I work with and try to put in the Army and try to help better their life, I treat them as if they were my own son or daughter, because at the end of the day, I want what's best for them. I don't want them to come into the Army and be like, oh, this isn't what I thought it would be, and they turn into a bad soldier, now they're somebody else's problem. More so what I want to preach to them is why. Because I went infantry, and a lot of people are like, well, why did you go infantry, you know? That was just what I wanted to do. If I was gonna join, I'm a type A personality, I love fitness. What's the hardest one to do or whatever, you know, the perception of the hardest one to do to me physically was the infantry. And I was like, oh, and I can try to jump out of planes too, I'm scared of heights, I'm gonna go do that, you know? And so I want that to be the example to my boys, but not that I want them to be infantry, but I want them to do something that's gonna challenge them, but in the end, better them. I would say my biggest takeaway so far, the Army really pushed me and put me in situations where there was a lot of guys that were better than me in my job in the infantry, but I was better than them in certain things. And so I failed a lot at certain tasks, but I made up for other places. So it allowed me to kind of grow and see, like, you don't have to be the best all the way across the board. And that's what makes us awesome in the Army is you might be super fit and can run a 2 mile in 10 minutes, but you struggle carrying 50 pounds for 12 miles. I don't struggle with the 50 pounds for 12 miles, but I struggle running that 2 mile, 10 minutes. So we make a good team. The biggest thing about failure is, I feel like if you put yourself in situations where you don't fail, then you never truly learn and you never truly grow. The Army forcing me to fail, you know, put me in situations in basic training where you're in charge, but you don't even know what you're doing, and they want you to fail. And I failed time and time and time again, and still graduated 2nd out of all the guys in basic training. So, I mean, it forced me into an uncomfortable position, but that's how I was able to learn and grow and get to the point I am now, where I don't care what you put me into. Even if I know I'm gonna fail it, I go into it like, I'm about to win this, or I'm about to get this done. Even though I know in the back of my mind, I have no clue what I'm doing. The biggest thing I've gained is network. So, you know, I've gained all these experiences and things like that, but, you know, that's cliche. You've been able to travel and do it, yeah, I got it. But I've been able to gain network and see the importance in network. Like I heard one motivational speaker or somebody say that, you know, your net worth is your network. Your network is your net worth. You know, anywhere I want to go, California, Alaska, Hawaii, or all these businesses, all my buddies are starting businesses and different things now. Like I have no fear of getting out now because of my network. The next big challenge for me is moving on. So thinking about what's after the Army. And since I've been in recruiting command, I've been able to not only be the recruiter, help run a recruiting station, but now part of the virtual recruiting team. And my position within that team is basically been content creation. So now I get into cinematography, videos, things like that, which I've found is like my newfound passion. I love it. On top of fitness. And so trying to figure out where I'm going to go from here. It's going to be something with photography and video. I don't know if it'll be something of my own or if I just jump in and help, you know, small local businesses in my hometown. I don't know. I've learned through this entire process that I have way more to give than I've really been putting forth in the last 33 years I've been alive. So where I've helped a lot of people, my passion is in mentoring and helping people, and now I just have to figure out a way to do that on a larger scale. And so I think that's why I'm doing videos for people and photography for people, and kind of, you know, them being like, oh, that seemed like it was a good shoot, or it seemed like this was pretty cool, or the way you moved the camera was kind of cool. I already know what it's going to look like because I'm the one editing it too. And so I'm like, wow, they're about to be really pleased. And then when they see the video and they cry because they're happy, or they cry because they pulled it on the heartstrings, then I know I've done my job and it makes me feel good.